Hi there, I'm Marty Snyder, and I'm an associate professor in the Graduate School of Computer and Information Sciences at Nova Southeastern University. And I teach in the area of learning technology. Some of the courses that I teach include online communities, instructional design, foundations of learning technology, project management, and learning theories. So today I thought I'd talk about some of the professional organizations that one might consider if you are in the field of instructional design and technology. A little bit about me. As I mentioned, by the courses that I teach, my research really focuses on the design of technology-enhanced learning environments. And some specific research interests are instructional design, e-learning, technology-enhanced learning environments, online communities, workplace learning, and technology and older adults. And I also appreciate qualitative research methods, as well as design and development research. But before I joined the Graduate School of Computer and Information Sciences, I did spend over 15 years in industry as in instructional design and project management. So to get started, why should you join a professional organization? Some of the things to consider to stay up to date on trends and issues, especially in instructional design. The technology and the tools are advancing so fast. It's important to really stay on the edge of those trends and issues and understand how they affect the instructional design practice. It also gives you a chance to talk to other people about ideas and share best practices in the field. I learned so much just by networking at professional organization conferences and joining LinkedIn discussion groups and following certain people on Twitter. I get to know what's going on. But again, professional organizations is really that solid link to being able to network with people in your field. Also, to contribute practical expertise. As someone in academe, I do research and that's part of my job. But I know some instructional designers who are in higher education or in industry, they're not really focused on research, but I just think there's a tremendous opportunity for researchers like me to get together with practitioners and perhaps co-author or co-present because there's such a gap sometimes between the research and the practice. So joining a professional organization gives you that opportunity to share what you know, especially from a practitioner-based perspective. And then also to contribute to the research literature. Again, if you're in higher education, that seems to be more emphasized, but certainly people who are in business and industry, as I mentioned earlier, and in other contexts, government, military, healthcare, there are also wonderful opportunities to collaborate with researchers so that that gap between research and practice can be apparent in the research literature. So, which organization should you join? It really depends on what your goals are. The the WIFM channel is what I recall in industry. What's in it for me? Think about what you're wanting to get out of joining a professional organization. Think about how much money you want to spend. It really depends on, the registration fees vary. They have individual memberships. A lot of organizations have student memberships, which are really cut in half, which if you're a student, it's a great opportunity to get involved. And then they also have institutional memberships and even memberships for people who are retired. So those are things to consider as well. And then how involved do you want to get? There are so many opportunities when you become a member of an organization to get involved, whether it's being on a conference steering committee or being a reviewer for presentations, to join a local chapter, to organize a local chapter, and to join a special interest group. or joining a board of a special interest group. Like I'll talk about American Educational Research Association, and there are quite a few SIG special interest groups, and you can get involved that way. So think about what it is you want to get out of an organization to help you determine what's the best fit for you. Now, so here I've got some suggestions, and this is just very limited based on my involvement in professional organizations. Certainly there are many more, but this might get you started. The first one here, the Association for Educational Communications and Technology, also called AECT. They have an international convention, the next one scheduled November 2 through 7 in Indianapolis, Indiana. As a matter of fact, the call for proposals is currently open as we speak. This is a really good conference, not only for academics, but also for practitioners, because there's a nice blend of not only practitioner journals and research journals, but also for the conferences. You don't necessarily have to be conducting or presenting research. There are informational sessions, there are pecha sessions, which are those small or short sessions. There are different poster presentations, so a variety of ways to get involved. And the membership for regular is $135 a year, and student membership is substantially cheaper at $75 a year. So that's one organization. Another one is the Online Learning Consortium. This is formerly the Sloan C. It recently changed its name, and they continue to have an annual international conference for online learning. The next one's scheduled October 14 through 16, and that's at the Swan and Dolphin Hotel in Orlando. The call for proposals should be coming soon. I'm on the conference steering committee. I have been for the past few years. So I believe that call usually comes out somewhere around May, and so just take a look out for that. And the Online Learning Consortium, it just includes so many resources, different webinars, different conferences like the Emerging Technology Conference, the Blended Learning Conference. They're very active in social media, Twitter and Facebook, and they have various types of memberships, including what's called a community membership, which is free to get involved in the online community, and then professional memberships, $120 a year. I don't think they have a student membership, but they do have institutional memberships that vary. And again, like AECT, Online Learning Consortium has a balanced mix of research as well as practice. And they have the online learning journal, which was formerly the Journal of Asynchronous Learning Networks, but I do believe it's called the Online Learning Journal. I'll have to double check on that. Anyway, so the next one, American Educational Research Association. Their annual meeting is coming up in April 16th through 20th in Chicago, Illinois. They have a large membership because it's a membership of all educators that span different fields. But there are many instructional design related special interest groups, like one that I'm the communications manager for the Design and Technology SIG. There's also the Instructional Technology SIG, Online Teaching and Learning, which is a good one that I'm a member of, and as well as Technology as an Agent of Change. But if you go onto their website, you can see that you join, and then you can select specific special interest groups that you can become a member of, and they have their own Facebook pages and LinkedIn groups, etc. Memberships regular is $180, a great student benefit of $55 a year, and they are heavily focused on research. As a matter of fact, for the conferences, you have to submit a completed research proposal, or one that will be completed by the time that you present. So while there is a blend of research and practice, again, the focus is on the research, as noted in the title of American Educational Research Association. So let's see. Okay, the International Society for Performance Improvement, ISPI. Now, they are really focused a lot on workforce performance, human I believe they used to call it the Human Performance Technology, but they have quite a few practitioner-based journals. Really a nice organization. They offer a certified performance technologist credential, and they also offer different local chapters. There's one right here in South Florida. Memberships are relatively comparable to others. $195 for regular membership. For a young professional, $75. And then retired, $95, and lifetime, wow, $17.50. So some neat options in terms of membership. And again, there's a blend of practice and research. I've seen in the journals very practical-based, application-based articles, as well as some good research articles as well. So ISPI. There are so many other organizations. I really don't have a lot of time to cover all of them, but we have here, and I've provided some web links: Society for Applied Learning Technology, the Florida Distance Learning Association, EDUCAUSE, Learning Solutions Magazine has an annual conference and expo, and then also Elliot Mazie puts on a learning conference. You might want to go to his website at mazie.com. So those are some other organizations. And then here's some additional instructional design and technology resources. I really love the Serious E-Learning Manifesto. You've got some thought leaders like Michael Allen, Julie Dirksen, Clark Quinn, and Will Thalheimer, who have really decided to get together and say, hey, look, these are some principles that really we need to think about when we're considering the future of e-learning design. Instructional design for online learning, a good resource that you might want to access for information on instructional design. I found that it was very well organized. Let's see, Instructional Design Central, a privately owned business, but they provide a lot of good information, a job board, information about different ID theories and models, programs and degrees in instructional design, e-learning tools, and that sort of thing. Some more, I love the Rapid E-Learning blog. I get their newsletter, and they provide some really great tips on how to use, not just how to use Articulate, which is a tool for designing e-learning products, but just in general, some really good design tips and techniques. So here just a few that I had off the top of my head, and some of them are repetitive. I see I put here Instructional Design Central again on this page. But anyway, so just some additional resources, and also something not to forget, if you don't want to join a professional association, you can certainly join a LinkedIn group. Here are some of the top groups that I found when I just did a search for instructional design, and you can tell which ones are more active than others based on the posts and that sort of thing. So it would be a good idea just to kind of lurk around and see if you can find some LinkedIn groups that are related to instructional design and technology as well, because in creating communities of practice, some of those can be localized or institutionalized, where you have a community within your own organization, but it's also wonderful to connect with other people outside of the organizations and find out what other people are doing. So that is just a brief overview. Thank you for your time, and if you need to reach me, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free